Hello students, myself Yogita, Assistant Professor Computer Science from Pandit Nekiram Government College, Rohtak. In the last lecture, we learned about procedure and function. That is, what is a procedure, advantages of using a procedure in Visual Basic Language, types of procedures, subroutine, function, their syntax, how to call a subroutine and function, and at last the difference between call by value and call by reference with example. Today we will cover the following three topics using optional arguments, using named arguments, and passing an array to a procedure. Now come to our first topic, that is using optional argument. Students, as all of you know that there are two types of arguments, formal arguments and actual arguments. Optional arguments, as the name suggests, give the freedom or an option to the user that he may or may not pass the value at the function call or during the function call to the arguments that are set as the optional argument in the procedure header or the function header. Means Visual Basic provide the facility to pass the optional arguments to the subroutine and the functions. It is very easy to pass the optional arguments in the procedure header or the function headers by using the optional keyword. Now, there is one rule regarding the optional argument is that always pass the optional arguments at the end of the argument list, not in the starting. Optional argument take the default value 0 for the numerical arguments, empty value for the string type of arguments, and false value for boolean type of arguments. Now we will clarify it by taking an example in Visual Basic software. This is Visual Basic Integrated Development Environment, as all of you know that. Now here I am taking an example of a procedure to calculate the simple interest. It is very simple program. First of all, I will write the program without optional argument and after that with optional argument, so that you can differentiate between optional argument very well. First of all, take two command buttons, command 1, command 2. Set the caption of command 1 button. Suppose calculate SI. Now set the caption of command 2 button, exit. Now we can make it hotkey as by typing ampersand. Now I want to enter in the code mode to write down the procedure to calculate the simple interest. So first of all, write down the keyword sub. After that, name of the procedure as interest. After that, argument list. As all of you know that to calculate the simple interest, we require principal, rate and time. So I am passing here three arguments: P as single, comma, R as single, comma, time as single. Okay. Now take one more argument, S, to store the result. Now all of you know that to calculate the simple interest there is a formula, that is PRT divided by 100. After that, print the value of simple interest. The value of simple interest is ampersand S. Now call this procedure by using the call keyword at the command 1 click event. Call S, after that the procedure name, after that pass the actual arguments or pass the values for principal, rate and time. Now write down the code for command 2 button. I want to exit at or terminate the application at command 2 button, so write down the end keyword here. Now run this program. Click on first command button, calculate simple interest. Now you see on the screen the value of simple interest is 480. This program is working very well. Now click on exit button. Now there is a one rule regarding the optional argument. As I said earlier, that always pass the optional argument at the end of the argument list. Suppose I am making P as the optional argument, which is at the starting of the argument list, not at the end of the list. Optional. Okay. Now you see on the screen that there is a compiler error. Now delete it as, so make T as the optional argument. Now there is no compiler error, so it follow the rule that always make the optional argument at the end of the argument list. Now the second point we discussed about the optional argument is that is optional argument take 0 value for numeric type of arguments, empty for string type of arguments and false value for boolean type of arguments. Now T is the numeric type of arguments, so during the procedure call I am not passing the value for T. Now let us see what this program will take the value for T. Run this program again. Click on calculate SI. Now you see on the screen the output is the value of simple interest is 0. This program took 0 value for the time. Okay. Now I hope the topic of optional argument is very much clear to you. Now the second topic is named arguments. As all of you know that there are two types of arguments, formal arguments and actual arguments. And there is one rule regarding the formal arguments and actual arguments is that they must match in their data type and order in which they are passed. Means you can't change the order and data type of the formal arguments and the actual arguments. But Visual Basic give the facility that you can change the order with the help of named arguments. That is, you can change the order of the formal arguments and the actual arguments with the help of named arguments. Suppose there is a procedure having 3 arguments, name, class and roll number. If you are not using the named arguments, then at the procedure call during the function call or during the procedure call, you have to follow the order, that is first of all pass the name, after that class and at last roll number. But if you are using the named arguments, then you can change the order during the procedure call, that is you can pass first of all roll number, after that class and at last name. Now clarify it with a program or example. For this take one command button and one more command button. Set the caption of command button to suppose student record. Okay. Now set the caption of command to button to exit. Okay. Now enter in the code mode. Write down the procedure. Suppose the name of the procedure is student. Now I am passing here 3 arguments: name as string, comma, class as string, and at last roll number as integer. Okay. Now print the values of name, class and roll number. Name is ampersand name. Okay. After that print the value for class, CLASS ampersand class, and last print the value for roll number. Ampersand roll number. Okay. Also enter one print statement to print an empty line so that the result or output is very much visible or clear to you. Now call this procedure student. Currently I am not using the named arguments. So first of all pass the value for name. Suppose name is Akash. After that class is BCA and last roll number is 20. Write down the coding for command to button, just putting and keyword here. Now run this program. Now the screen is visible to you. Click on the student record button. Now you see clearly on the screen the name is Akash, class BCA, roll number 20. Now click on exit button. Also write down here is okay. Now I am changing here the order. Suppose write down the value for roll number first of all here. Means first of all pass the value for roll number. I have changed the order of the formal arguments and actual arguments. First 2 arguments are of string type, at last numerical type. But during the procedure call, during the student call, I change the order that first of all I pass the value 20, after that for roll number, after that name for Akash and class for BCA. Now run this program. There is an error. You can see clearly on the screen there is type mismatch error. Okay. But if you are using the named argument, then this problem can be solved. That is, you can change the order also. Using the named argument is very simple. Means write down the name of the argument during the function call or the procedure call with assignment operator. Okay. Roll number for 20, name for Akash and class for BCA. Okay. Now run this program again. Click on student record button. Name is Akash, class is BCA, roll number 20. There is no compiler error. So with the help of numeric named arguments, you can change the order of the formal arguments and actual arguments. There is one more advantage of using the named argument, means if there are so many optional arguments, then you can skip the optional argument you required and you can give value to the optional argument required. For example, suppose I am setting here roll number as optional argument and class as the optional argument. Okay. Now class and roll number are optional argument. During the procedure call student, you only want to give the value to the roll number, not want to give value to the class. It is very much simple. Now run it. Click on student record button. Name is Akash, class is empty. Why it is showing empty? Because as I said you earlier during the discussion of the topic, optional argument take empty value for the string type of argument, and class is the string type of argument for which I have not passed any value during the procedure call. Okay, now click on the exit button. So I hope the topic of named argument is also very much clear to you. Now the last topic of this lecture is passing an array to a procedure. It is also possible that you can pass array as an argument to a procedure or function. It is very simple. Visual Basic provide the facility that you can pass array as an argument to a procedure or function. Let us clarify it. Let us understand this concept with the help of an example in Visual Basic software. This is Visual Basic Integrated Development Environment. As you know, first of all take one command button, second command button, set the caption of command, one button to suppose pass an array, set the caption of next command, button to exit. Okay. Now enter in the code mode, write down the subroutine with the help of sub keyword. Suppose I am taking the name take array for the subroutine. Okay. Now set the visibility mode to private to this subroutine take array. If you are not specifying any visibility mode, then as you already know, by default a procedure or function takes public as the visibility mode. If I set this visibility mode to private, it means this subroutine take array is visible only to this module or only to this form of the project only, not to the all. Now pass an array to this procedure. Suppose I am taking here X, an array which is of single type. Now take an element of variant type, because for printing the element of this array X, I am using the for each next loop. So it is a rule that the element in the for each next loop, it must be of variant type. Print element next. Okay, now at the command one click event, take an array of size 3 of single type. Now pass the values to these elements. Suppose I pass value 3 to the first element, value 6 to the second element, value 7 to the third element, and value 9 to the last element. Okay, because this array is of size 4, not 3, because by default the size of array starts from 0. Now call this array take array A. Okay, also write down the coding for command 2 button, and this procedure is very simple. I think this is very much clear to you. First of all, I declare a subroutine take array whose visibility mode is set to private and taking X as an array which is of single type. After that, I print the element of this array with the help of for each next loop. On the command one click event, I declare an array of size 4. After that, I assign values to all these 4 elements, and after that I call this subroutine take array with the help of call keyword. Now run this application, run this program. As you see on the screen, there are 2 commands button, pass an array, exit. Click on pass an array. The value of the elements printed on the screen 3, 6, 7, 9. I hope this program is very much clear to you. Now click on exit button to terminate this application. In this video lecture, we study about formal arguments, optional arguments, and passing an array to a procedure. I hope this lecture is very useful for you. Thank you. Have a nice day.